welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something so exciting, and that is talking about the December readathon and my TBR for it. So this is something that kind of naturally happened. We're already reading our sequels for the book club in December, so I thought it would be cool to just kind of add it to the entire channel. Now this is going to be a super chill readathon. I use the term readathon in the most loose sense. We basically just have some prompts and you can read whatever you want for them. You don't even have to use the prompts. The prompts are more kind of like a guided system, like if you don't know where to start with your sequels, because that's what I struggled with last year. This will kind of help you see what you want to get through and potentially like what you have left. Because when I made this list, I did not realize how many sequels that I was in the middle of that I could actually finish. So that being said, let's really talk about the readathon, and it's just gonna be called Sequel Readathon. And that is the whole point, to read our sequels in December. I have so many that I want to get through the year. I want to catch up before new releases come out next year. I want to catch up on old series that I'm starting to forget what happened in them. And I don't want to drag some of these series into next year as well, because I feel like there's a couple that I've now dragged through 2 to 3 years saying, oh, I'm gonna read it this year, I'm gonna read it this year. No, we're stopping that. We are going to finish a couple of these series that have been on here for quite a while. We are going to move on to talking very quickly about the prompts. They are very simple. They are meant to already fit your TBR. So if you already have sequels on your TBR, they'll probably fit the prompts. This is not supposed to be a complicated, overdone kind of thing. Like, you guys know me. If it gets too complicated, it's not my vibe. So I'm trying to be as simple as possible. So let's talk about the prompts. First up, we have the oldest sequel on your TBR. Again, most of these are going to be self-explanatory. I'm not going to have to explain a lot of these. So newest released sequel. This can be interpreted any way that you want to. And kind of when I thought about this one, it's newest released sequel. It can be either the newest released of that series. So it could be a book that came out 2 years ago, but it is the newest in that series. Or if you want to go a more like traditional route with newest released sequel, it would be the most recent sequel that's been released. So for me, it would be Brimstone. Brimstone came out literally yesterday. That would be the newest release sequel that I need to read. We have second book in a duology, so finish up those duologies. 5-star prediction. This is the challenging one. I feel like a 5-star prediction is always scary because you go into such high expectations, but I feel like I have so many 5-star predictions for sequels. Next is favorite cover. Just pick a pretty cover. It doesn't even have to be your favorite of favorite. It just has to be a gorgeous cover that almost kind of makes you want to read the book. Least anticipated sequel. I have a couple here. Which is kind of why I added it, because I know for a fact I would try to avoid these if I did not put some sort of prompt in it for it. Next, we have a novella within a series. So it can be, the whole series can be a novella. This can be like, oh, a good example is like the Shatter Me series. The Shatter Me series has a bunch of full-length novels, but in between them, like 1.5, it's like a little novella or a short story. Those count. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Personally, for me, I'm probably going to be using this for the Wayward Children series, or potentially Holly from the Belladonna series, because even though it looks like a full-length book, it is a novella based on the spacing in the book. But I will get to that when we get to my TBR. Next, we have a cozy to you read. Doesn't have to be cozy to other people. A reread of a book in a series. So I have a couple of books for that because, like I said, I've let a lot of books go by the wayside and I can't remember what happened in the first book, so I cannot move on to the next books. So I'm going to use this prompt a lot for first books in a series. And then final book in the series. That can be the second book in a duology. It can be the third book in a series. It could be the 6th book in a, what do you call a 6-book series? I don't know. I don't know what it gets to when you start getting up in them, but any book that ends up wrapping up the series. And this could be like a mid-series break as well. So if you're reading the Red Rising series and you're on Morningstar, Morningstar would count, even though there's 3 more books after that. You can read those as a set. So that actually would count as well. Again, if you think it counts, it probably counts. And we're not counting these for any points. This is just for like own personal fun. So it doesn't really matter anyway. And those are all the prompts. I kept them pretty simple. And again, you don't even have to use the prompts. You can just use them as a guideline. You can just read whatever sequels that you want to read. So that being said, we're going to get into my TBR for December. If you suddenly hear some whining sounds or barking or something like that, my dog literally just woke up. He always wakes up in the middle of me doing videos and he's decided to rampage around the house. So if you hear that, everything's fine. So let's start with oldest sequel. So the oldest sequel that I really need to get through is Soul of Stars. This is the second book in the Heart of Iron series. I think this is a duology, so this would also count for the duology thing, but this is my oldest sequel that I can think of in my bookshelves, and it's been a very long time since I read the first book. It's like a sci-fi romance heist type of book series, and I think I gave the first one a 5-star. I really enjoyed it. It has a really good rep in it, and I would like to continue. It's gonna be really funny telling you guys about these books because I can't actually tell you about these books because they're all sequels. Like, I can't tell you what they're about besides their genre and the basic idea of them. Next is newest released sequel, and I just talked about it. Oh, you know what? I'm not using Brimstone here. What do I have here? Okay. When I made this list originally, and I'm gonna go with this original idea because Brimstone is gonna be for something else. So newest release sequel as of me making this list and count it. See, that's what I mean. You can make things a little your own taste. The Things Gods Break. I really want to read this. I think this sounds really good. And it's the second book after The Games Gods Play. I gave that one like a 3.75. I'm really excited because that book ended crazy. So I need to know what happened. So I would like to get this off my plate before I forget everything that happened in the first book. Next, the only not physical book that I have, but I have an e-arc of this because I really want to read this before I attempt to buy it because I've heard mixed things about this one, and that is second book in a duology, and that is the Jasad Crown. It is the second book in the Jasad Heir series. I gave the Jasad Heir like a 4.5. I wasn't sure how I felt about the ending of that, but that one is it's classified as romantasy, but I would not call it romantasy. I thought it was just plain fantasy with a really cool world. It has a found family aspect of it, and there's trials, and there is a really good romance, legit enemies to lovers romance, and I loved it. I had such a good time with it, but I've heard conflicting things about the second book, so I really want to read my e-arc of it before I attempt to get the second book, because if I do get the second book and I love the second book, I want to get the Illumicrate copies with the new dust jackets, and it's really expensive because it's shipping from the UK, so I gotta read the e-arc first before I attempt that. So only not physical book in this video is second book in a duology, the Jasad Crown. Next up, where I'm gonna put Brimstone, is 5-star prediction sequel, and that is Brimstone. I'm so excited. I have my Target edition coming in the mail soon. I'm so excited. I gotta decide which one I want to read. I kind of want to read the Target edition because I didn't think I was gonna like the Target edition, and then I saw it in person and I was like, that's gorgeous. Actually, I hate that it doesn't match Quicksilver, like the Target edition of Quicksilver. It's really weird. But yeah, this is definitely romantasy. This is the sequel to Quicksilver, like I just said. Quicksilver is one of my favorite books so far of the year. I absolutely love it. It's tied for 3rd place right now with The Knight and the Moth. And it's basically just like, it's your adventure fae story. I mean, that's what it is. There's nothing else to it. It's just really fun. The humor is fantastic. The characters are super fun. So I'm really excited to add some perspectives in here. Very excited. Next up, we have favorite cover, which I have so many for this prompt. However, Throne of Secrets. I almost said Throne of the Fallen, which I think is the first one. Throne of Secrets. This is one that I've been putting off for a really long time because, again, people really like the first one. I really like the first one. I think I gave it a 4-star. But people didn't like this one as much, and I've heard it's significantly spicier than the first one, which is like, ugh, I need my plot with the spice. So I kind of do want to reread that first one and then pick up this one. So I may put that in my reread. I have a couple that are going to go for each prompt because I didn't say it earlier, but you can use a prompt as many times as you want. Like, there's no, you can't use it. You can literally, if you just want to read favorite covers and just pick the prettiest books on your shelves and just read those for December and sequels, that's totally fine. That's up to you. So anyway, I love this cover. I love this just edition in general. It is absolutely stunning. So I really need to get to this. Again, this is in the Kingdom of the Wicked series. This is like the spin-off 7 Sins Brothers or whatever. So I need to get to this before I forget absolutely everything because they do tie stuff in from the whole series. Ooh, least anticipated, Wrath and Mercy. I liked The Bright and the Pale. This is the second book in the duology of the Bright and the Pale series. I read it so long ago, but I actually really liked it. It doesn't like have great reviews. This one doesn't have great reviews either, but I remember really enjoying the first book. So now I'm like, ooh, I need to remember what happened in the first book because it was crazy. The ending was insane, and I was so excited to get my hands on this. But by the time I got this, because I do have the Fairy Loot editions of these, I think these are the Fairy Loot editions. Yes, Fairy Loot editions. I didn't remember what happened in the first book, so I just kept putting it off. So again, this is probably one of my oldest sequels as well. I've had this one for a while. This could also go with the Soul of Stars, but this is my least anticipated sequel out of everything in my house. Probably Daisy Hates, what's the other one? I have it literally right there. The Great Undoing, the second Daisy Hates book, that's probably on there too. I'm kind of done with the Magnolia Park series. So that could also be on there. I just like don't want to put it on this list because I feel like I'm not gonna read it. But anyway, Wrath and Mercy, again, it's just a fantasy story. It's a young adult fantasy story in a very frozen world, heist and adventure story. Next is Cozy to Me. First, we have one of my favorite like creators on Instagram. They used to do a lot of stuff with Unplugged Book Box, but it is A Goblin in the Glade. I read the first book, really enjoyed it. I think it was A Daughter of the Trolls. And they also came out their third book, so I really need to get my hands on their third book after I finish this one. But it's really cute. It has really, really good rep. Very cozy fantasy stories that have very cute characters. So I'm excited to get back to this one. It's been a while since I bought this. Yeah, I got the special edition of it. It's so cute. And I think it's going to be perfect for December. My other option is Holly. This works. This could also work for novella because I do think if you reformat it, because look at this. Look at that. So if you did reformat this, it would actually be like a novella. So this could also count for novella, but this is going to be cozy. This is going to be wintry. It's just going to be a cute story continuing in the Belladonna series. Next for reread, honestly, I have so many that could go in this category, but the two I want to focus on, I just talked about it. The Jasad Heir, I really do need to reread this and remember especially what happens at the end and kind of like get a feel of the tension again and the romance because I think it's going to be really important for the first book. And then the other one, it's been a really long time since I read this book, but I had such a fun time with it. I have the sequel and the third book. I got both of them, but I haven't made it past this first book. I think I gave this like a 4-star. I love the magic system. I was shocked at the end of this book, so I'm really excited to continue it. I think it just took me a while to get my hands on the second book. I don't know if it was like release dates, but I remember having a really, really good time with this. And so I definitely would love to continue in this series. And I have both of these books on this list. And then for our last prompt, but don't worry, we have a couple more books to talk about that don't really fit things or could fit if you stretch the prompts a little bit, but I'm still going to get to them again. The prompts aren't everything in this readathon. So it is final book in a series. I finally need to read The Whispering Night. I've read the first two. Both I think I give the first one a 5-star, second one I think a 4-star. So I'm excited to continue this. I think I got a little bit nervous because the second one didn't hit as much as the first one. So I kind of was like, okay, I like this series, but I really don't want it to end. I'm really bad about finishing series. I'm really bad about finishing TV shows as well because I just don't like when things end. So I need to finish the series. I need to do it. I need to do it before I forget every single thing that has happened in the series. It's the third book in the Luminary series. If you want vibes of Twilight and the Vampire Diaries and just like this nostalgia feeling in a young adult book, this is it. That is everything in our prompts. We're going to move on to just separate books. So first we have the second book in the Guild series, Plated Prisoner series, whatever it's called. This is Glint. I really liked the first book. I was kind of surprised. It's probably one of the first romantasy books that I've read that I actually kind of enjoyed myself, and my friend actually recommended it to me. Marissa said I was probably gonna like it. Just skip some of the sex scenes and especially get through the first book, and she said it gets better. So I liked the first book, which I feel like bodes pretty well for the rest of the series. I'm really excited to continue this. I have books 2 and I also have 3 behind me, so I could read both of those for this. Also, kind of a 5-star prediction, but I'm not sure because this is the beginning of the second set of Red Rising books, and that is Iron Gold. I do have the graphic audio for this one. I love this cover. It's also could go in favorite covers. I really like this cover. So I'm really excited to get to this one, but I'm really nervous. Next we have Aurora Burning, just a sci-fi book. I really just need to continue in this series. There's nothing too much else to say about that one. A couple of these I just kind of want to get through a little bit. Summer Queen, After the Buried and the Bound. This, again, I need to catch up on this before I forget everything. I think I gave the first book like a 4-star. Then I just talked about them, but these are the next 2 books in the Merciless One series. So I have all of them. I need to read all of them, so hopefully we'll get through these. This is a hopeful, but I don't think, this is a 5-star prediction, but I don't think I'm gonna get to this because it's just, it would take up so much time. Emperor of the Damned. I have Emperor of the Damned and Emperor of the Dawn. I definitely wouldn't get to both of them. It would be one or none. So hopefully I can maybe read some of this at least. And we also have Blood Trader. I don't know where the second book went, but this is the Prison Healer series. This is the 3rd book. So this could also finish off a series. This would also count for that, but I gotta read the second book as well. And then the 2 stragglers, like I said, I had a lot in this video. We have Assassin's Blade, prequel, never read it. Crazy, right? This could technically, I think, go in the novella category because it's like a bunch of short stories. So I would count that for that. And then to finish off a duology, just an extra one, is Mirror of the Beast. Again, a book that I read a while ago, loved it, loved Silver in the Bone. I just need to finish the duology before I forget what happened in the first book. So this may be a skim the first book to remember the characters. That is my TBR for December. It's massive. Obviously, I'm gonna have some other things in there. I'm probably gonna work on a purge. And I'm definitely gonna be working on September's reading all of my book box books video. Hopefully also October's. I'm really, really trying to catch up with those. And I think I can because I didn't get that many books in this back half of the year for each video. But anyway, I hope you guys end up participating in this. I do have a couple of like social media things. I'm currently figuring out how to do it on Google Drive, but I can show you right here. I have a to be read little thing that you can put on Instagram or just keep for your own. You don't have to post anything. You should be able to download it in the Google Drive down below. And then I also have a one that you read. So I kept it pretty simple so that you wouldn't be filling in particularly for a prompt, because this isn't supposed to be like a book per prompt. It's you could read one prompt for the entire month or just not read any prompts. So I just wanted to keep it as chill as possible. So that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are going to join me in reading our sequels in December. Yeah, that is everything I have for you today. Definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, what you kind of want to read in December. If you have nothing else to say, but you want to let me know that you were here. Ooh, what's a good one? It's gonna be December, so leave a snowflake emoji if you want to let me know you're here but you have nothing else to say. And yeah, make sure to miss any future content. I'm probably going to have reading sprints. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I will have some reading sprints during December. That is kind of my goal. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.